Because our relationship will be one-sided. I ask him and he gives it to me.
Yeah.
No, the Bible says that we are fitly joined together.
That's right.
So I need strength from you, like you need strength from me.
Yeah.
So what we have to come to realize is that whatever God says he's going to do, we've got to trust him. But there's an excerpt in this book I think I want to really read for you.
Okay.
And when you get a chance, go get this book.
And Dr. Erica, she always picks out really good books.
I love them. I love them. And so in this book, it says that the Lord's delays are worth the wait, because the delay has some blessings that you have not even conceived.
Yes.
Let me read that again. The Lord's delays are worth the wait, because the delay has some blessings that you have not even conceived. So God is waiting on us to conceive, or waiting for us to get in a position to receive.
Yes.
And so why is it that we get so anxious and waiting to receive? Is it because we overthink, or we think that we got the answer?
Yeah.
Or we allow other people to tell us, oh, you go ahead, God meet you there.
But you know, the key word to that passage that you read is the Lord's delays. And see, sometimes when things delay, we think it's our fault, so then we start to try to push things along.
That's right.
But whenever you have to step back, first of all, and be aware of the season that you're in, and say, Lord, is this an opposition sent by the enemy?
Yes.
To delay what's meant for me?
Yes.
Or is this you slowing my train down because there's another blessing?
Yes.
And that's what it said, the Lord's delays.
The Lord's delays.
Yes, have a blessing in it.
Yes. And I told the church on Sunday, sometimes
you preached on Sunday too, Doctor.
Thank you.
I was like, go ahead.
Y'all, I'm telling you, God changed my whole message for Sunday. I had no clue I was going to do that. I was like, Lord. And one of the ministers said, you really did it? You mean you really didn't study it? I said, I did not.
Let me tell you something. This girl jumped up and got that microphone.
I did not. I didn't have nothing written down. I just had the Bible up there. You would find a whole bunch of notes. I ain't have nothing. I said, God, this got to be you.
It was a powerful delivery service.
Thank you.
It was.
One of the things that I have learned that in my process of waiting, in my process on God, he says, listen to this. Some of us look at others who have achieved what we call success or greatness and say, he or she is so talented. I wish I had his or her talent. May I remind all of us that talent alone does not tell the whole story of anyone's success.
That's right.
Talent alone, y'all won't get it. Some of y'all can sing well, you can play the instrument, you can do all that, but it's not about your talent. God wants relationship.
He does.
Because I can be the worst singer, but because I develop a relationship with God, he's going to love me from my heart. Not what I can give him. Now, don't get me wrong. I believe God loves our gifts. I'll tell you, it was fresh, honey. I was like, Lord, you're going to have to give me the words to say.
Yeah.
And one of the sisters said, you didn't have no notes. I had no notes. And I was like, God, this has got to really be you. This is fresh out the dirt, honey. You didn't have time for you to go and wipe it down. But the one thing about God is obedient, and we're obedient to God.
Yes.
In the process of time, he will reveal himself to you.
He will.
In the process of time. Now, your time and my time were different.
Right. That's right.
Because we all arrived at this place called life at a different position.
That's right.
What I did to get here, you might not have to do that. Or the next person. So I always tell people, never line yourself up with someone else's life thinking that I can get the same reward. Because you don't know what I had to go through to get there.
That's right. And the thing about it is, we'll see someone and we'll say we want what they have. But like you said, we don't know what they went through on the backside of the mountain.
We just don't know.
And the thing about it is, and in order to go through what you have to go through on the backside of the mountain to bring you to the forefront, you have to recognize the season.
That's it.
The time.
That's it.
And then you have to recognize what during the time and the season, what's your stance.
Yes.
You know, we have to change what stance do you want me.
Exactly.
Do you want me in a stance, Lord, of running? Do you want me sitting? Like, do you want me still pursuing, or do you want me resting?
Yes.
You know, and we have to recognize. I have a question for you. When do we start to look at oppositions as opportunities?
When we are no longer looking at it from a carnal mindset.
Okay.
So in other words, it could be an opportunity, but my flesh, I have a fleshly outcome of it. And sometimes we do that unintentionally. Like, that might look good on me. So, for example, read that question again.
When do we start to look at oppositions as opportunities?
Okay. So when the opposition can no longer affect me, I'm no longer attached to that thing, that I can give it up easily.
Okay.
That I'm no longer looking at that thing as an opposition. But God help me to see the opportunity in this that's going on. I'm going to give you an example. I had a friend of mine. They went to the beach several years ago, and he was watching the children. And this is gonna be what you're gonna say. This, how in the world is this gonna match what you? But this is gonna
Okay.
work.
Okay.
They were out on the beach and they were all playing, and the tide pulled some of the kids out further.
Oh Lord!
And they were able to get all the kids out except one, his nephew. And he kept saying, God, they were walking up and down. They tried to go out, and they're all great swimmers. Well, the tide had pulled him under.
Oh wow!
And he blamed himself. He said, but all I could do was get up to the beach. And he said, I laid down in my face in the dirt. And I said, God, just give us the body. Lord, just give us the body.
Jesus.
So it was a opposition, but it also was an opportunity. At 9 years old, when they had his funeral, the church was packed. They did not know this little boy had led almost all the people in the church to Christ.
Oh,
by
wow.
the age of 9.
Are you serious?
Yes, they didn't know what they said that this little boy would go all over the neighborhood offering Christ.
Wow.
He was going to different places offering. And so everybody was talking about how the testimonies at 9.
At 9 years old.
So his death may have been an opposition, but it was an opportunity.
Yeah.
It was an opportunity that somebody's life could be touched by that. And sometimes we can take an opposition. It may be an ailment. May it be another person's attitude, another person's whatever. Instead of us running to it, we run away from it.
So do you think we should start to look at an opposition as opportunity when we can no longer fix it?
Exactly.
When we no longer have control.
They no longer have control. But the opposition sometimes is the catapult to push you over to your opportunity. Sometimes opposition is sent there to make you look at your opportunity. Had the opposition that come, I look at it as an opportunity. So sometimes we gotta don't count away because it's the opposite of opportunity.
Yeah.
They both had. If y'all look at this, I'm not English teacher, but if you look at OPPO, the first 4 or 5 letters are the same.
They are the
opportunity,
same.
opposition.
Yeah.
But the one is separate or different from the other.
Yeah.
Just because there's an opposition that you're facing does not mean the opportunity is not on its way. It's how you react to the opposition determines what the opportunity will become.
And if we look up the definition of opposition, it says resistance expressed in action. And if you look up the definition of opportunity, it says a set of circumstances that make it possible for some action to happen.
So them circumstances could be the opposition.
That's right.
It could be the opposition.
Yes.
So you have to look at it. Listen to this. This is one can be spiritual and still live beneath the vision which God has for our lives. That is greater than any vision we can have for ourselves or others can have for us. One can be spiritual and still be lazy and cheap.
Oh, Lord.
One could be spiritual and still lack faith. One could be spiritual and still have no heart for doing great things for God. One could be spiritual and still cling to the things they have always done. Not because they are effective, but because they make us comfortable.
Yes.
Opposition, comfortable, and secure our power, standing in position and titles. While many spiritually would be helpful to all of us all, I would remind us that it is impossible to become so heavenly minded that you are no earthly good. It is possible to be spiritually minded that we are of no practical good.
Yes.
Spirituality is like faith, which is without works, it is dead.
That's right.
So there's a lot of things that we could be. But the question I'm going to ask us, what is it God wants you to be?
What is it He wants you
I
to be?
can become anybody I want to become.
Yeah.
I really can. You can take on whatever personality that you want to dress like that person. The other night I was watching the show Botched. Now I like watching Botched.
I do too.
And I'm looking at these people. They have
like, what happened?
Yes, what happened? I don't understand. and in me watching the TV show, I'm looking what mirror to make them want to be like this. What is it? Something? Do they lack something?
Yeah.
On the inside of them that when they saw a different person, they want to be just like him or her.
Wow.
They can do the cosmetic to the best of their ability, But whatever's on the inside of you, it's still there.
It's still there.
And that is not changing.
It's not going to change.
So they're looking at an image of something that they want to become. See themselves.
Yeah.
And some of these people they had life-threatening issues that happened behind the box.
Wow.
I mean, they lost limbs and different things because they didn't go about it the right way.
Yeah.
But one lady, she wanted to be a life-size baby doll. She wanted her hands webbed together.
What?
She wanted her eyelids. The lashes wouldn't move, but with her eyes she could feel it. She wanted all this stuff done. The ribs taken out. I mean, she wanted to be a life-size Barbie doll.
Do that now? They're supposed to do psychiatrics.
Well,
I mean, they're supposed to do some type of psych eval.
Yeah. Sometimes
before they do this kind of stuff to people.
And the good thing about those two doctors said to them that they couldn't help her.
Yes, thank God.
They said they couldn't help her because we're not going to put ourselves in a bad situation. But whenever you go through life, it may appear like it's botched up.
Yeah.
It may feel like, God, this thing has cut me up. It's taking everything out of me. God, show me what it looks like on the other side.
On the other side.
Because, God, there's something always on the other side of the mountain.
Yeah.
Now, I may not know what that is, but that is so great.
Yeah.
That I'm looking for something. I can even go back to the, a couple weeks ago, we lost Kobe Bryant and her daughter.
Yeah.
And what was amazing of that is that they were calling and letting him know that there was fog and he needed to fly high. Get higher than he was. And apparently they said they lost signal. When he come out of the cloud, that was right there.
Wow.
So what if we're flying too high or too low and we miss our opportunity? And God said, right there in front of you.
Right there in front of you.
But you said, but God, I can't see it. He said, you can't see it because you don't want to see it.
Yeah.
But sometimes God's going to show you stuff that looks total opposite of where you're going. I promise you, if you do it God's way, the outcome of that thing will be much greater.
Yeah.
He said there's a season and time for everything in our life. There's a season and a time for everything in our life.
Yeah.
He says it's a time to born and time to die. Do you not realize that we all have our appointed time of death?
Yes.
And you can't stop it. I'm sorry. Plastic surgery ain't going to stop that.
It's a time in my life where I'm gonna have to give birth, but then it's also a time I'm gonna have to die. And they're embracing scriptures because it's simplicity, but not only that, it's reality.
It's reality. Yeah, it's reality.
It's reality to them. And I think sometimes I say all the time, me and Travis, we're raised in Maxwell, and I say we always have to be conscious of where we 17. And I think sometimes we forget that when we read this, like I said, it sounds harsh. And that's because we've gotten attached to so many people in our lives that we don't want to think about or ripping out and a replacing and a plucking up and a moving away. We're like, oh no. But the new generation, they are looking, they're embracing all of these seasons, all of these things. And I begin to think about, we have to begin to look at opposition through God's eye and not man's eye.
Yes.
And sometimes you'll be connected to people that you will voice what opposition you're going through, and they won't point you back to, you have to look at it how God and not the way they see it.
That's right.
Because they'll make you lose faith.
They will.
They'll make you stop pursuing the things that God has laid on your heart to pursue because they're reminding you of the opposition instead of saying, look at the opportunity. So even, I don't care how deep you are, at some point in your life, your Christian walk, you have to pray and ask, well, Lord, change my perspective.
Change my perspective.
Change the way I see this opposition that I can see opportunity. If you think about Moses ran to a dead end, and that was the Red Sea.
It was.
He could have looked at that opposition and said, you know what, we're going back to the house. I'm sorry. I don't know what I was thinking about. But he took that opposition as an opportunity.
That's right.
For not only his faith, but the faith of everybody that was following him. opposition.
That's right.
And so opposition is meant to grow our faith.
So would it be fair to say that opposition and opportunity is synonymous to spiritual warfare?
Yes, I think so. Because it goes after your mind.
Yes. So there's a battle.
Yeah.
There's a battle with the opposition versus the opportunity. Opposition never wants you to achieve opportunity.
That's right.
So you got the good man and the good person, and they're constantly. It's like the little two people on your shoulder.
Yeah.
Your alter ego.
Yes.
They on your shoulder.
The little, what's it, the devil and the angel?
Yeah. They on your shoulder, and you trying to say, well, how am I get through this? The thing I've learned is that this battle that we are fighting, it belongs to the Lord. We don't have to fight these battles. We do not have to. We don't have to put ourselves in a place of defeat if we just take ourselves back to the cross. Everything that we will ever face, God took it to the cross.
He took it to the cross.
And I know that we have this modern day and new age way of preaching and delivery, and I think it's so great. I believe every preacher that's out here, I don't care who you are, every message to take you back to the cross.
Needs to take you back to the cross.
It is the one area and the one subject that's to me universal. We can't deny the cross because it happened. So why not take it back to the very one who died for us, who gave us an opportunity that one day we can go before him.
That's right.
And God's going to call us back to our day of reckoning.
Yes.
But until he comes, God's giving us opportunities. So now what do I do with the opportunities? Go ahead, I'm sorry.
No. Go. I was just thinking, what if Jesus looked at everything as an opposition, and then see it as an opportunity to save a world, of dying people?
Yeah. But think about it. When Jesus was on the mountain for 40 days, it wasn't until he came off the mountain that the enemy tempted him.
That's right.
God knew what he got. Did he know what the Father was speaking to him up there on the mountain?
Yes.
What Satan didn't know, he wanted to come and tone him. If you say you're the Son of God, turn these stones into bread. Jesus said,
man, some of us would have failed that.
Yeah, he said, man should not live by bread alone. He said, well, if you be the Son. So he kept coming to him one thing after, and Jesus was so simply answering him. He had no more antics.
Yes.
Because what he did up in them 40, God was giving him direction.
That's
he
right.
was giving strategy.
That's right.
That's why it's so important, y'all. In this year of 2020, I believe this. This year, we're going to have to live a more fasted and consecrated life this year.
Yes.
More than ever before.
Because
the enemy is coming. He's going to try to get us off our game. And so what we have to put ourselves in a position that, God, this is you.
Yeah.
And I don't know how we're going to do it. But whatever opposition that you're facing, the Spirit of the Lord wants you to know today that you're not in this thing alone.
Yeah.
God said you've got help.
You got help.
And the enemy wants you to think that you have no help.
Yeah.
You got help. So if you want help and you need, put it on the screen.
Yes.
And let us begin to pray for what you need help for.
Look, Sister Hunter says sometimes the season seems so long.
Yes.
It do seem like they overlap. It seems like we're going through that now in the natural.
Yes.
The seasons are overlapping, and you're like, when is it going to break? Every time you think you coming out of one season, then you put your winter coats up, then you got to get your winter coats back out. And I believe that we can look in the earth and get intel on what's happening in the spiritual realm.
That's right.
And we have to realize that the time and the season that we're in, that God is looking for people that are willing to take the opposition by the horns. And say, Lord, what kind of opportunity? Because the Bible says all things work together.
Yes.
All things work together.
Yes.
Even opposition.
That's right.
And sometimes the enemy try to make us forget that. He try to make us forget that the bad things are going to work.
But what we have to realize is this. The Lord that created you, he knew that you would be at this stage in your life.
Yeah.
He knew that you were going to face some oppositions. You're going to grab hold of some opportunities. So what we have to do is say, Lord, help me how to balance this opportunity versus opposition, and then show me how to move beyond where I am.
Yeah.
And I say it like that is because sometimes they want to go to the pastor or to whoever. God has equipped you all with the same tools.
The same tools.
The same tools God has given us,
yes.
He's given them to you.
That's right.
So you don't have to go through something, through any situation, and not become victorious. God has given you victory in every area of your life.
That's right.
So what is the opposition? God, show me how to face the opposition and move on to my next step.
Yeah.
God, you give me an opportunity. I told him Sunday, I don't need a big door. I just need God to open up a door, a small little crack. I put my foot through that door.
That's fine.
If my foot can go through that door, I'm going after my opportunity.
Exactly.
And sometimes God will sit before, he'll open up a big window. Don't miss your opportunity looking what is behind you.
Think about the man that that was the paraplegic, and his
Yes,
friends had
yes.
him. And his friends, when they got there and it was crowded,
Yes.
they saw that opposition, but they made an opportunity.
Made an opportunity.
And sometimes you make an opportunity.
Make it happen.
Because the opportunity may not present itself,
Yes.
but in your prayer time, the Lord will let that spiritual ingenuity
Yes.
kick in,
Yes.
and you will create.
Yes, and Lord, give
Yes.
me something. I gotta make it through. One thing I love about God is this: that God is nothing too hard for God. That He and you cannot handle with Him.
That's right.
But you can't lose heart, or you can't give up through the process. But this is all working together with the decade, because the enemy knows that the majority of the body, we're going forward with a clear focus.
Yes.
We're seeking God for clarity.
Yes.
But we're not just praying for this year 2020. We're praying for the next 10 years.
That's right.
Because what we're seeing now is going to look a whole lot different in 2020.
Mm-hmm.
Even down to our local church, we cannot do church as usual.
That's right.
If you want people to join your church, you got to think outside the box. And we heard some millennials say, but we don't want to be religious. We don't. And so I had to really go back and look at what do they really mean by that. They don't want a lot of extra stuff.
Yeah.
We do a lot of extra stuff, a lot of tradition,
A little
formality.
fluff. Bishop Grace say fluff.
Yeah. So we do formality. Think our approach to that thing,
Yeah.
and look at it from a different lens, because God is sending the people.
Mm-hmm.
God's sending the people in this year. He's people that God's gonna put out.
That's right.
And
That's
they're
right.
gonna be looking for a place that has the true word. They're gonna be looking for a place, God, that I just want to go, God, just to get the word, and people can love on me.
That's right.
And God, I won't be judged for what I'm going through. Another thing, people are afraid to come to churches.
Yeah.
Because we turn them away by our looks.
That's
and
right.
by our actions.
Yeah.
We don't want nobody to be turned away.
Mm-hmm.
If you need Jesus and you need a church home, we're gonna invite you to come to Overcome and Deliver Center.
Yes.
We are here to grow, to equip you. And I know you're saying, but what makes your church different? There's really no other difference, but I can tell you this. We will pray you through your victory.
Yes.
Honey, we'll help you get stop
Yep.
until you get what you have and you need from God.
That's right.
So we thank God for the opportunity that we can serve. We can restore lives,
Yep.
help win souls, unite families, and build community.
Yes.
That's our mission statement.
Yes.
And so I want you to be encouraged that God has something great in store for you.
Definitely.
And that nothing that you shall go through in this season, you will not walk alone.
That's right.
No matter what the opposition, God has you. He has got your back.
Yes.
So all I need for you to do is
Push into it.
push into it.
Push into
And
it.
watch God move on your behalf.
That's right. Refuse. Don't give
Yes,
up.
don't
Don't give up.
yeah.
And if we have, think about, there are so many great things that God has in store for us. That's why the enemy wants you to give up.
That's right.
That's why the enemy wants you to look at that opposition and throw in the towel.
That's right. That's
But
right.
when you start to pray, Lord, and let me see this thing. Let me see my way through this
Yes,
thing.
yes.
And the Lord will begin to show you the opportunity in that opposition.
That's right.
And I'm excited about it. He
I am
don't just
too.
leave us in opposition.
I love it. The Bible says, be not weary and well doing. Due season you shall reap if you not faint. Don't you give up. Don't you quit. Sister Hunt, don't quit. Don't give up.
Yeah.
Like, y'all, we've come too far that we've seen God do it before. Time and time again.
That's right.
Don't you quit now.
Yeah.
Because this is our year of opportunity. This is our year of expansion in our individual lives, in our churches. This is the year that God's going to make the vision for us
That's
much
right.
clearer.
Much clearer.
So I don't need for you to quit. You still got time on the clock.
Time
Still
on the
got
clock.
time on the clock. Yes, yes. So I'm gonna let you close it out.
Okay.
And offer salvation for anyone who's listening to us.
Yes, and we do want to offer salvation. If you know someone, pardon of their sins. If you're listening, whether if you're on my page, the Xperience Live page,
Yes.
and you need salvation, I want you to inbox us so we can pray. But you can pray wherever you are.
That's right.
You can just simply to forgive you of your sins.
Yes, yes.
Acknowledge Him as the Lord, Savior.